My name is Leroy Rector, and this is my memory of the WWE, the way I know it. I started watching WWE before I could walk and talk. It's a big part of my life. I do WrestleMania events towards the end of the year when WrestleMania comes up. Um, so let's get started. This is the first memory that I could ever think of. This is Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. The most unexpected, most exciting fight that I've ever seen because Hulk Hogan ended up picking up Andre the Giant and slamming him. Nobody thought he could do that, but that's the most biggest memory that I have in my head. Um, then after that, a couple of years down the line, Hulk Hogan, still a big name, he ends up feuding with this guy over here, Randy Macho Man Randy Savage, over Miss Elizabeth. Happens to be one of the best rivalries that I ever have seen after a while. Um, Great to watch. This here, you see both titles in hand. That's the WWE title, WWF at the time, and you have the Intercontinental title, and you see the feuding between Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, which Ultimate Warrior ended up winning because he was the babyface at the time. Great match once again. Now this guy here, this is Roddy Piper. He was different. He wore a kilt, changed the era of how wrestling was. He got to say and do things the way he wanted to do it. Uh, a very interesting time period of wrestling. The audience loved him because they liked the Rebel. He ended up fighting Hulk Hogan, losing, but yeah, did some things. Now this here is Bret Hart. This ushered in a different era of wrestling. My favorite wrestler, to tell the truth. Bret the Hitman Hart was different, agile. He can jump off top rope. He can slam you. He can do things to you on the ground. So this changed the way athletes were perceived. Then we go into this new type of wrestling with they introduced another brand of wrestling to feud with WWE, which was WCW, and you know it was good. Didn't last too long. Uh, this is the new generation of wrestling. You see people like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel, and Undertaker, um, and Razor Ramon, who came in and just changed the face of what wrestling was and still kind of is today. Uh, this is a different type of era that came in with you had Stone Cold and The Rock and um, certain other people who had to battle against the WCW and a big rivalry that they were having. Um, Ushers in like the Attitude Era where this is Stone Cold and The Rock who were the two main faces of the at the time of wrestling. Um, the names got so big that they have to create another show just for The Rock called SmackDown. Um, this is basically the Generation X versus uh, the Nation Domination. Really great feud. It was kind of like it was weird to see sometimes because people kind of put it together as a black versus white thing, which it really wasn't. But did bring a rise in the era of black folks in WWE. And then we go into the new era uh, with it's called the Ruthless Aggression era. This is the people that everybody should know by now: Randy Orton and John Cena. Uh, Two different brands, once again, but it made for a really good show. Uh, After the Ruthless Aggression era, we started ushering in a different type of era where it was PG a little bit, where you got to say things, but you couldn't really do some of the things that you could do back with the Attitude Era, where people were cussing and hitting people with chairs in the head, stuff like that. It became a little different now. But you have people like CM Punk who said things that he wanted to do. After that, um, the WWE Network is born. I don't promote the WWE, but I just want you to know, you can pick that up for $9.99 on WWE prescriptions. Um, but as you can see here, WWE is getting so big now that you can literally watch it on anything. WWE gets so big that they have to have a smaller brand called NXT that kind of is like a development league for the WWE. So this is what you see. So this is where you get most of our big talents from now. Anybody you can think of that came in and is doing things at this point probably came from this brand. As you can see, on Raw and SmackDown of WWE, you have people like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and The New Day and Becky Lynch, Charlotte. All these wrestlers that are here have come from NXT and are now in WWE making big names for themselves. So, um, this here is the rise of women in WWE, which is really good. This is Western and New Era. In the middle there, you have Stephanie McMahon, who kind of revolutionized what the women are doing these days. Married to Triple H, who runs NXT, just so you know. And all these women here are some of the best women that you've seen. Now, this ushers in a new era. We end up signing people like Ronda Rousey, who you see in the middle, and now we have a women's evolution. This is really good because now it's very stern now. Like we're changing what the face of women look like, and they have their own pay-per-views. So that's really good. Now, coming to the point that we are today, you see this is something that hadn't been done before. So WWE starts pushing the line of things that they want to see. They start listening to the crowd a little bit more, and for the first time in history, we've had a black champion. This has never been done before, ever. So this is a very interesting moment in time for WWE. And at this point, my slides are pretty much almost over. WWE here, as you can see, is then, now, and forever. This is something that will never ever change, depending on who's out there. Everybody should know about WWE.